Hey sauna builder, thank you for visiting thesaunaheater.com. Have you ever wondered what makes for a great sauna? What kind of construction techniques and construction things you should take into consideration when building your own sauna? Today I will explain to you why the sauna I'm sitting right now has all the characteristics of an unbelievable sauna and how you can copy them and make sure that your sauna follows these same best practices as well. My name is Löyly, I'm the co-founder and CEO of thesaunaheater.com. So firstly, you want to think about your bench construction. Optimally, you would like to have one bench that allows you to lay down if you want to, because then your whole body will be in the same temperature zone, and that is very enjoyable. In this sauna, we have L-shaped layout in the benches, but you can do whatever you wish. My only advice is that you want to have one long enough bench that allows you at least partly to lay down in your sauna. Second sauna construction best practice that is related to the benches and the layout as well is that optimally you want to have your feet above the sauna heater. So in this sauna, the stones in the sauna heater on top of it are still lower than my feet when my feet are sitting on the second level of the benches in the sauna. Well, why is that? Why do you want to have your feet above the level of the sauna heater? That is because hot and steamy air rises up. So you want your whole body to equally feel that great hot and steamy air that sauna heaters give. And that's why in the most optimal scenario, you want to have your feet above the highest stones of the sauna heater. If you can't achieve this, try to get your body as much above the sauna heater as possible. Next tip is that you don't want to sit directly next to your sauna heater. The reason for that is that the heating elements inside electric sauna heaters emit hot and radiant heat, and that doesn't feel the most pleasant. That's why, if possible, you want to sit a little bit farther away from your sauna heater. You don't have to sit as far away as I am in this quite a big sauna, but if you don't have to lay right next to the sauna heater, that would be pretty much optimal. Next, I want to talk about the ceiling shapes and the buffer that you want to leave above your door. So let's cover the ceiling shape first. You want to have an equal ceiling shape, because if you have very leveled ceiling, if you would have some higher part here or higher part here, those higher parts, they will create steam pockets, and those steam pockets will trap the best hot and steamy air inside of them, and that's not something you want. So in the most optimal scenario, you don't want to slope your ceiling much at all, and you don't want to have any unequal shapes in your ceiling. So just a normal equal ceiling like we have here would work perfectly. What about the buffer above the door? What does that mean? It means that you don't want to have a door that opens all the way up to the ceiling, but you want to leave a little bit of space between the highest part of your door and the ceiling. The reason for that is there is sauna goers going in and out of the sauna all the time, and what you want is that when they open the door, not all the hot and steamy air is going to run away from your sauna. So this buffer will make sure that the best air stays in the sauna even when the sauna goers go in and out of your wellness room. Now I'm going to tell you the most crucial thing when it comes to sauna construction. You want to have great ventilation. Ventilation makes sure that your sauna stays healthy and make sure that the air is circulating inside the sauna room, equalizing the temperatures between the higher and the lower levels of your body in the sauna, and between the higher and lower levels of sauna in general. How you do the ventilation is that with electric heaters, for example, you have one intake vent and two exhaust vents, and these can be just gravity-based ventilations. So you will have fresh air coming into the sauna through an intake vent, bringing in oxygen and making sure that the air circulates, and then you will have two vents that will take the air out of the sauna and dry the sauna room so the sauna stays healthier for a longer time. Lastly, I want to say a few words about a sauna heater. If possible, you want to have a sauna heater that has high rock capacity. The reason is that sauna rocks have high thermal capacity, and the heating elements inside an electric heater basically heat the sauna rocks, and then the rocks heat the sauna room itself. And the best heat comes from the sauna rocks that have already absorbed the heat into them and are letting it out slowly. That is the most equal and enjoyable heat, because the heat from the heating elements themselves is pretty radiant. So you want to have a heater that has high rock capacity. Also, when you have a sauna heater that has high rock capacity, you will get better steam when you throw water onto your sauna heater. Reason for that is when you have a lot of rocks, the temperature of each rock is a little bit lower, and you are usually able to achieve optimal temperature inside each rock when you have a lot of them and the heat is distributed equally across all of them. Then when you throw water, the water doesn't simply disappear, but it drips down a little bit and then it becomes this kind of softer steam. So you want to have a sauna heater that has high rock capacity if possible. Whenever you are ready to start building your own sauna, you can get all the equipment from www.thesaunaheater.com. You can also get more expert help on selecting your sauna gear and on your sauna construction from thesaunaheater.com. Go and visit the sauna heater now. Thank you.